Okay, another episode of Elks 101. Declan, Eddie, Rick, and Pat. Kind of condensed episode. I think we're going to do this one a little bit ElksCentral as well, since Group Firefest, we lost the audio from yesterday.
All that work.
So, all our hard work, all our good jokes. The one that was going to get us the lifetime contract with ESPN out the window.
There goes that deal, that sponsorship.
Yeah, Cody Grace is going to be joining us, which is going to be a lot of fun. Really excited to talk about him, talk his journey with the CFL. I guess before we get into any of it, Eddie, man, how are you?
I'm
started
good,
the
man.
podcast same way.
Every time. I'm good. I'm looking forward to it. It's a big week this week. I mean,
huge.
The team, they're coming along, and we've touched on it a lot. They're making progress. Let's see if they can finally get over that hump. I've been looking on Twitter and just social media, and you can tell, like, there's a lot of people out there that want this team to be successful. I don't think anybody across the league is happy seeing where the Double E are right now.
The league is in a better place when Edmonton wins. Like,
it's real, man.
It's real talk. It's a better place when the Double E wins.
Or how about this when they're competitive, even?
Yeah, I mean, let's start with that and get some words. Rick, Pat, how you guys doing?
I'm feeling all right, man. I got up nice and early today, kind of got over the mistakes we made yesterday. Also, just having a little chat yesterday, I think makes me feel a little bit different about the team and where we're sitting. So a lot more positivity coming out of me today.
Okay, Pat, how are you doing?
Oh, pretty good. Had a wedding this weekend, so I'm sweating that off. It seems like I'm always hungover when I'm in here. I don't know what's going on, but the 2-day hangover is real. But no, I'm excited for this one. Yeah, the audio yesterday was a little bit unfortunate, but we're here now. We'll start again. It's all good.
Man, I got the worst Firefest ever. I just got to sleep with this.
Yeah, let the people know, man.
In case my energy's a little
Let them know why you sound like this.
Yeah, well, and also, I don't have my computer, which I don't have. I don't have anything that I own basically right now. But essentially, last night I was picking up my Uber Eats order from my.
What'd you get? What'd you order?
Just some McDonald's. Listen, I'm not proud, but it was open.
And what time was this delivery at?
It was like 2 a.m.
Okay.
He's in
This was like 2 a.m. It comes. I go down to get it. Meet the guy in the vestibule. Handoff is great. Food smells good. Nice guy. Say what's up. Whatever. Go to turn around to go back into my apartment building and realize that I don't have my key fob to scan in. So I'm standing there thinking, like, because this actually happened to me once before. Like, I forget when it was, but it actually happened to me once before. And someone, like, just by happenstance came down from the elevator and, like, while I was banging on the door and let me in, I was like, hey, man, like, I live here. I'm not just a guy. Like, I'll take you up to my apartment. Like, for
they were cool with it.
They didn't get it. They were like, yeah, just come in, man. Like, you don't have to do that. Okay. No one was coming to be my saving grace at 2:30 in the morning.
No hero.
I'm pushing every button on the call directory, like every single unit on the call directory, trying to get someone to. First of all, only one person picked up, and apparently, I guess they don't even live in the building anymore. So I had no way to get in. I'm sitting here. It's like 2:30 in the morning. I'm tired. Like, I got all this food. I'm like, what do I do now? So I call my girlfriend, who I hadn't. Like, she'd called me earlier and I hadn't got back to her yet. So my bad. But now it's like, I called her. I called her being like, hey, I'm locked out of my apartment. Can I, like, come over and sleep here? Get there at like 3, wake up at 7, just drenched in sweat. I texted you guys at 3 being like, hey, I'm, like, locked out of my apartment. I don't have anything. I don't know if we'll do the show tomorrow morning. Wake up at 7, like, drenched in sweat, thinking, like, there's no way. Wake up again at 8:30, like, okay, I guess it's time to go. And it's so funny because, like, when I texted you guys this morning, I was texting, like, what do you mean we're off? Like, see you at 9:30, even though I was
that's where I'm like, what? I was like, you guys hit me with that.
I'm like, of course we're at 9:30.
Did you not plug yourself into your cell phone?
No.
That's what I was wondering.
Wait, sorry. Can I? Oh, no, because I never got that. This is probably another reason no one really answered. Because I never got, like, hooked up with that. Like, they never hooked me up with being able to buzz people in. I think it's because the first door is always locked anyway. So, like, you can't even get into that one to get to the vestibule where you get buzzed in. So I feel like they've completely abandoned the program. And it sucks because the only thing, I have my phone on me, which is, like, almost dead. I have my keys to my car, which is useless. And I'm missing like my inhaler, my wallet, like everything. The door, by the way, to my apartment is like, it's ajar for sure. Because I knew, like, I was like, I'm going to run down, grab this food, run back up.
Yeah.
The lights are probably on. Like, the door is, hopefully someone
How you feeling?
walked by
You
my
Push the door and walk on in.
Hopefully someone,
You feeling kind of nervous or what?
no, if I get back and, like, honestly, if I get back to my apartment, whatever that is, hopefully at some point today and everything's gone, but my, like, inhaler is still there.
That's all you care about.
But it's brutal. It was a long night. I'm pretty tired. I obviously don't have my computer.
And we'll power through. It's a team effort.
Yeah,
baby. We got you back. We got you back.
Team game. Okay, yeah. So jumping back to the Elks. Just a quick little kind of condensed recap of the one from Saturday. I mean, I know we talked about it a few good times now. Where do you come out of?
Handful of plays was the difference between the game. It's honestly 4 or 5 plays that come to my mind that really separated this game, and unfortunately, it landed the Elks in the L column. We talk about the drop touchdown, last pass of the game from Cody Fajardo. That was in the breadbasket. As good a throw as you could make it. Like, that was a perfect throw, right in the hands. Dropped it. Didn't score from the 3rd and 1, going into halftime to go up 21-14. Huge play. That Cody Grace, where he recovered his own punt, that was a huge play, stealing a possession. The 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 8 that Bo Levi Mitchell completed when they didn't have a long snapper. Huge play.
Yeah, but even that punt that we recovered, what happened right after? We gave up 4 or 5 yards on the run, and then we tried a little screen pass after that and didn't get it.
That's right.
So it's like every time we take a step or two forward, we take 1 or 2 back.
That's a really good point. You said this yesterday, too. We recovered the onside punt. You got all the momentum. It wasn't an onside punt. You just recovered it. Got all the momentum, and then, first play out of the gates, you take a 3-yard or 5-yard loss. You can't do that, man.
Completely swings it again in the other direction. It is like it's tough because I honestly think I said this yesterday. There's a difference between 1 and 6 when you're getting your head caved in every game, and 1 and 6 when you are losing to the 2 best teams in the CFL by combined 7 points. And like the argument is that I totally understand and that we've been over is that at the end of the day you're still 1 and 6. But at least like if you're getting whooped by 40 points or you're losing like how you lost to BC,
Yes.
you can't even sell the fan base hope. Like there is no spin zone on that. Like if you like this, like the losses to Saskatchewan and to Hamilton, there's at least an essence of these are the 2 best teams in the league. Clearly, Hamilton have rattled off 5 in a row, 6 in a row now. Like you just played Hamilton down to the wire of wires, down to the final possession, a combined 7 points against Saskatchewan and Hamilton. Like there is solace to take from that. That knowing that you can play those 2 teams that tough, the wins will start to come.
Let's not get it twisted. I think that with the progression the past 2 weeks, I think that this team is starting to feel some confidence, and they are really going to have that mojo flowing. And I really, I'm not looking through the crystal ball, but I think they will start stacking some wins together because they are close. Now, what would be really discouraging, fellas, is if we're this close, then your next game out, you put out an effort like that BC game and just fall flat. That would just kill it all.
Completely reset everything.
Yeah.
That would be brutal. Which I guess is always an option, but I don't know. Like I think with Cody and a quarterback, the offense just seems to be trending.
Speaking of QB, you look like you want to sling that thing out there. You got the pill in the hand.
I need to have something to do with my hands at all times.
Oh boy.
No fishing.
He done now. He done now.
I normally have my computer here. I feel lost with having someone.
Okay, give it to you today, Greg. You're easy pickings right now, baby.
I know it's for sure. It's target practice for you guys if you're trying to get something.
Let's flame them, boys. Let's flame them today.
I'll just be sitting here and taking it. One thing we said yesterday was that as much as I like Trey Ford guy, Trey, if you have 1 fan left, you pointed this out. If you have 2 fans left, it's me and Gregor. But
Gregor's got his back.
Cody's clearly the guy. Like clearly,
How could he not be?
he's clearly the better, more well-rounded, more vet presence quarterback.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Trey, who I really like. I think he's a great player, but at this point in time, it's been pretty evident through 2 starts that this is.
Would you fellas even say it's a comparison?
No, not really.
It's not a close comparison, that's for sure. I mean, but like I said on the broadcast the other day, is that once Cody found out he was actually starting, so this time he had the whole week Last time he didn't. This time when he had the whole week, he took the offensive side and had a 30-minute meeting just with them and himself before they went to meetings, and kind of shows that veteran leadership that I think this offense, I think the whole team actually really kind of needs.
Yeah, the whole team does need this leadership. And no shade at Trey Ford, but I know these are things that he wasn't doing last year. I know last year from talking to guys who are on the coaching staff and players, as a quarterback, usually you got to put in all that extra work. And he wasn't really the guy putting in the extra work, showing up right before meetings, leaving right after practice, doing the things that your starting quarterback really shouldn't be doing. And Cody has come in and he's shouldered this responsibility, and you can tell that the team is following his lead.
When we talked about this one a lot yesterday as well. We'll probably reference that quite a bit. Like, hey, we talked about this yesterday. But Bo, his final stat line was like 30 for 42 or something for 250 yards. But it didn't feel like the DB group got torched for 250 yards. Like, it felt like they were closer than that.
Without a question, yeah. Because, A, they weren't just scoring points galore.
Mm-hmm.
Bo was having his success, but it all didn't just come easy. You know, the defense did finally make a team have to earn it. And you can see that. When you look up, you're right. It didn't feel like he went for 350 and 3 touchdowns, which is a hell of a game.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you check the front box score, and you're like, what an all-time game from Bo again. But watching the game, like, it didn't feel like he was just shredding the defense like that.
Big Rick talked about this yesterday too. If only that last drive that Hamilton had the ball, and they marched that ball too easy.
Yeah, the way
to score.
That
was
final
too
touchdown was.
Yeah, it was like butter.
Right down.
Yeah, it was like butter. You can't have that. Not in the fourth quarter crunch time.
No, my goodness. Then Edmonton, I mean, the other side of the ball, they have a chance to come down and win.
Exactly, man. And that's the side we talked the other day, fellas, about. You got to learn how to win, right? So, and that's just a pinpoint example of offensively, you got to learn how to win. You can't drop a touchdown pass with a minute left. Defensively, you got to learn how to win by shutting the door too. You can't let Hamilton march it, whatever it was. It was definitely over 80-yard drive to score themselves. So you got to learn as a team how to close the door and to finish games.
Yeah, Coach Killen talked about it in his post-game avail, just saying, like, kind of similar to what we had said about being close. But it comes down to these plays at the end of the game. Like, some of the degree of when good teams play each other, it's the team that makes the plays at the end of the game that wins the game, and we're not doing that right now. And this was obviously, a prime example, like probably the best example of the season, like Saskatchewan. I mean, if you want to say Saskatchewan made the plays with the 2 sacks on the final drive late in the game, sure. But I mean, Edmonton was like, it was like a 90-yard comeback. Yeah, it was like for sure. It was like a 90-yard field with like 17 seconds left. Like, that's a little different than this game.
This was their ball game.
Yeah,
this was Edmonton's ball game.
I thought Edmonton was far. I thought they were the better team. Honestly, I really thought. Like, I don't know if I'd make the argument they outplayed Saskatchewan, but I thought they definitely outplayed Hamilton in this one. That was a team that had won 5 in a row. Now they've won 6 in a row. Best team in the Eastern Division.
Best quarterback
in the league. Yeah, coming in, putting up 15 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 2,200 yards. Like, just
now he's at 18-3.
Now he's at 18.
That's wild.
But it's really one play. It's one play. And that's the difference. They needed a play. They got the play. They needed a play. Everybody that was on the field at that time made the play. Guys blocked. Guys made a pass. Someone made a catch. They got the end zone. We had a time where we needed to make a play. We had the blocks. We had the throws. We had the ball in the end zone, a perfect pass. And then that was the one mistake.
Yeah, right through it. It is like Declan out there trying to catch that thing.
DB hands. DB hands. It is tough, man. You talk about the Kayon's drop. You talk about the getting stuff on the goal line in the first half, and then off of Cody's punt recovery, only coming away with 3 points. Like, that's just, those are some situations where 21 points are up for grabs, barring the PATs, but 21 points are up for grabs. You come away with 3. You leave 18 points on the board against a really good team in Hamilton. Like, you just can't do that.
There goes by how many? What was it? 4?
Lose by 4 talk about 18. Like, but you just can't do it because Hamilton is too good and too well rounded. If you're in a situation where you're leaving those 18 points on the board, and that's a kind of disrespectful to Kayon. That's not. Like, maybe it's not. I don't know. It feels a little bit different than like a free possession and the stuff at the goal line. Like, drops happen, but it was right in his hands in the end zone. I was another thing we talked about yesterday. I was getting up in the press box cheering, like fuck yeah, jumping up, big J Journo cap off, like no.
They didn't like that in the press box.
Dude, it'd be like if a reporter at the White House, like,
Or like golf. You know, picture like in golf and you got a fan just cheering out of nowhere loud.
You look over and he's got like a CBS pat,
Is there a seat in with the regular people next game now? Are the journalists going to kick you out of there? You get one row down, you're out with the regular folks?
Yeah, go do the comment.
Yeah, I might have to. Like, I imagine I get to the.
It's the fine.
I get to the media center next game, and just on the outside, there's a picture of my face.
Let's put some lips
Or
on this thing,
it's the other way. Like Ed invites me into the GM's room. He's like, "Hey, we heard you cheering, kid. Come on
in."
Yeah.
Let's dress this pig up a little bit, though. We talk about how they're one play away.
Mm-hmm.
That's gotta give you some hope inside, doesn't it, fellas? Knowing that this team is close.
Yeah.
I know it don't count for nothing in the win-loss column, but if we just can reminisce on where we've been the past 5 years, to see a competitive game like that go down to the wire,
I think
it's still hope.
we're definitely a much better team right now. It's the losses that still hurt, but I think when a day or two goes by, that kind of goes away a bit. And you get an opportunity to sit around and talk about it and really think about the game and go, you know what, that was one of the best teams in the league. And yeah, this schedule has been two of the best teams in the league the last two games have been right there. We've only been down by 4 points and 3 points, or 3 points and 4 points. We are right there. It's one thing for the fans to be a little upset right now because we've got years and years and years and years on this, but some guys have been on the roster for 1-6, with 7 games now. They can't be that down. They need to look at this and they need to go out there and go, you know what, we are this close. We are a team that can win. We just got to go and do it now.
And same with the coaching staff. They weren't a part of all this garbage that we've been talking about the past 5 years. This is all new for them too. So
yeah, the hope is definitely there. Like even compared to earlier this season, if you're like a 4-14 ball club or whatever you are, and there's 14 losses, like you get your head smashed in, like no one wants to come watch that. But if you're a 4-14 ball club and you're competitive and you're in every game, obviously you're leaving the fans with a sour taste in their mouth. But there's still something to be said for like being competitive and being in games. That's what I like about walk back. Like we talked last week about the Elks being 1-5 and saying like both basically said don't mean shit. But obviously it is pro sports, and at the end of the day, that is how it is. But I do still feel like I want to walk that one back a little bit. Just speaking exactly what I just said to you. Like there is something to be said for being competitive and being close against these good teams, knowing that as the law of averages equal out, like the wins will come, and they will be there. And I feel like the Elks team is primed for that. Because I feel like they've played like that game against Hamilton. They played too good of football for that not to translate to a win against maybe a lesser quality opponent. And that I think gives you hope as a fan.
Well said. They got Montreal on deck this week, right?
Yeah, Montreal this weekend. Montreal.
Man, they gotta come out with such a hunger, fellas. Like we can't see them laying egg this week.
No, Montreal got fraud checks a little bit too. Other riders, obviously.
Hey, they did though. MBT, he's okay back there, but he ain't everything in a bag of chips. That's for sure.
MBT versus Cody Fajardo revenge game from each guy.
It's quite something too.
It's gonna be
flip positions, flip teams.
It's gonna be like that game. Do you remember? It was I forget. It was Pat Mahomes versus it might have been Baker. When it was like Texas Tech, Oklahoma, and they each put up like 900 yards past.
I do.
That's what this Cody MBT game is.
Yeah. They each threw for like well over like 500.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I think Pat Mahomes
went
for like
700 yards. Yeah. I remember, bro.
Yeah. Red Raider, the vaunted Red Raider offense. Final score was like 75-68 or something.
Yeah,
my goodness. Are we good to be joined by our very, very, very special guest?
Playmaker out there, possession stealer,
the pride of Warwick High School. I was looking this one up. Warwick in Western Perth, Australia. The notable alumni page had 3 people. Cody was one of them. Nice. So are we good to go with Cody? Can we bring him on now?
Yeah, we're gonna get it going here.
There we are. Cody, how are you, man? Thank you so much for doing this with us.
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me.
Did you hear the intro there? The pride of Warwick High School. And I want to ask, I mentioned there were 3 people on the notable alumni page. Could you guess who the other 2 are? The third obviously being yourself.
Top of my head, maybe might have been a guy called Adam Cocky. Is that correct?
Was he an AFL guy?
Yeah, he played AFL.
It wasn't him. It was Mark Hutchinson, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
And then Melissa George, who apparently was an actress.
No, I don't know the Melissa.
Okay, so she wasn't in Neighbours or anything on everyone's TV down in Austin.
Nah, not Home and Away. Nothing like that.
Cody, like I said, thank you so much for joining us, man. We want to talk about that punt you recovered because I'm going to go ahead and stamp this one. I don't know if my man Eddie here agrees with me. Most athletic play of the season across the CFL. If I had a trophy, I would give it to you, but I'm anointing it. Most
Hey, no shade, Cody. That was a hell of a play, no shade. But you're going to say that's more athletic than the interception last week in BC?
All right, yeah, that's true. Second most athletic player. But on that punt, like, is this one you just felt like kick gets off the foot, you feel like you shank it a little bit, you know the rules, game IQ's there, and you just go down, make a play knowing you can recover the ball?
I mean, I'm always in that situation. You're always kind of aware, and you're hitting an Aussie punt, so it's kind of spinning backwards. So it's kind of a 50-50 whether it's going to go forward or backwards. That one I just kind of got underneath it a little bit too much, but it was lucky. I was kind of playing for the returner to be on the other side, so it kind of worked out where I pulled it to the left, and then I got a good bounce. And obviously it was a little bit slippery after all the rain and stuff, and just kind of. Got up there and, I've done it before where it's, the situation's been the exact same, and it was just kind of reliving that situation I had been in and jumped on it. And my instinct was to kind of get up and run. But the play was already blown dead, so I didn't have a chance to keep going.
You wanted to scoop and score that bad boy.
Yeah, I mean, if you see a little bit of daylight in front of you, you're going to run. So, but yeah, probably my athleticism didn't let me get too far after that.
What was going through your mind when you got stripped there? Were you like, all this hard work for nothing?
Yeah, no. Well, I heard the whistle, so I wasn't. I was just kind of like, I don't know what to do next, and the ball came out, and then just kind of the natural flow of the game. You go chase after it. So I heard the whistle, and I knew I was just kind of in celebration mode.
Had you been going to Coach Killam in practice or anything, and being like, hey, Coach, like we could. I can place this ball pretty well. Like we can start running some onside punts. Like we can get a guy, as Eddie likes to say, blend him with the sidelines. Let me sky that bitch. Let someone go run, get under it. Like are you pitching these things? Or are you going to start pitching it now with that onside recovery? Like what are some of those combos like?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but there's actually a few kind of punt teams actually running it where it's an Aussie punter. We kind of can control it and hang it up there in those situations. There's actually a few teams that always kind of have an onside player just in case that does happen. It was just kind of in that instinct that, we didn't have it, and the ball just kind of flowed our way. But there's always, a team will always have some kind of onside going in punt. Hamilton was running that actually against us as well. So it's always something that's, kind of schemed up depending on the situation and things like that.
Hey, Cody, I was wondering, because I actually had an Aussie punter as a teammate back in the day, Josh Bartell. Don't know if you're familiar with him. Played with him in Hamilton and in Saskatchewan. And I've never really thought to ask him this until now that I hear you talking about it. With the Aussie-style punt, is that something you do more situationally at different parts of the field to control the football as opposed to just your typical bomb where you're trying to spiral and get as many yards as possible?
I mean, for me, situation-wise, it's always kind of plus 55 going in. I know there's a few Aussie punters that just like to do that, wherever they are in the field. It doesn't really matter. It's more so as well, we can kind of control it. It's a bit more of a lower punt, so you can kind of get the returner running a bit more because it is lower and you can kind of drive it a bit faster. But for me, I know how I can control it. So it's usually in those plus, field position kind of areas that where I'm just going to hit an Aussie punt. I don't really tend to do it too far, towards the back of our end zone. So it's more of a situation kind of, and reading the wind as well, I guess as well. If it's super windy and I'm kind of backed up, then I might do the Aussie punt because it's a little bit harder to spiral it. But mostly in just those plus field kind of situations, that's when I'll do it.
Cody, like growing up, I assume you wanted to be a rugby player or an AFL guy. Like I would think any exposure you had to American football would have been the NFL. But like, at what point did the CFL come on your radar?
Not until 2020. I finished playing college in 2019. So I was trying to go do pro days and things like that for the 2020 season. Missed out on all of that. And it wasn't really till the back end of 2020 when CFL, I guess, scouts and coaches kind of reach out and say, hey, we're not playing this season, but for 2021, you have the global draft coming up. So that was kind of when I really looked into it and kind of understood the rules of the CFL.
Where the fuck is Calgary or Matt?
Yeah, no, I hadn't really kind of dabbled in anything to do with Canada until those conversations started. And, looking at the field, I was like, cool, this is a rugby field. There's a lot of room to punt, but it's very hard to punt in the CFL, because the returners are so good and, field position's a massive piece. So it wasn't really till the back end of 2020 when those conversations kind of started and then started rolling with all of that.
Do you think American football, do you think that the lateral is underutilized? Like, being a guy who's, been a rugby guy or like an Aussie rules guy, do you watch the game and just think like there are opportunities for laterals everywhere that no one's doing?
Yeah, it's always something that kind of, I think, did Travis Kelce do it last year at some stage with the Chiefs and Mahomes?
Yeah,
kind of,
the Lions went out as well. Ben Johnson's their OC last season, Chicago.
Yeah, and it's always something that's going to catch defenses off guard. They're not expecting it. They're always kind of, I guess, looking for something that's coming towards them, not away from them or laterally from them. So you see things that you're like, yeah, you could just throw in a little flick pass or something like that, laterally. But those dudes are so quick and reading the play and reading the ball as well. So you got to make sure it's 100%. If you're going to roll with it. The CFL, I think it's definitely a field that's more suited to that. But yeah, it's I guess trying something new is also a little bit something people don't really want to dabble in and things like that. So it could be used for sure, 100%.
Cody, I wanted to ask you, just getting back to that amazing play you made in the game where you stole that possession. In my 9 years in the CFL, typically the specialists, the teamers, punters, long snappers, kickers, they kind of were their own crew and they did their own thing. Yeah, you're a part of the team, but you're kind of doing your own thing. Like when we're in training camp, for example, I remember I'd see the specialists go inside the locker room and stretch and everything. I'd be like, damn you guys, man. Like, get out here and get in 2 days with us.
Yeah.
So when you have a play like that and you could see the energy on the sideline just through the roof, what's it feel like when you got the whole team kind of coming up? Because you don't get a lot of love typically unless, you hit a walk-off field goal or something as a specialist. You don't get a lot of love from the team. What's it feel like when you got the whole team coming up to you, galvanized because you did such a wonderful play in the game, man?
I mean, it's a cool feeling. Any opportunity you get to kind of make an impact on a game like that. It was quite a close game. It's obviously a pretty big moment. But personally, I've always kind of prided myself on, when I am punting, to kind of be a spark in the sense of, being able to create an opportunity or, just kind of get a bit of juice flowing, whether it be a good punt and, recover it. So it's something that was kind of embedded in me in college. You want to be on the field, but you don't. You want to be holding. But as a punt unit, you want those guys to kind of be excited to go and cover, because you never know what's going to happen. So it's, in those kind of moments, you just got to really kind of embrace it, I guess. But it's something that I expect to do, not in the sense of steal a possession personally, but, if we can get the returner to drop a ball and, one of the gunners jump on the ball and, steal a possession, that's something we want to do. That's something we expect. So it's, I like to get juiced. I like to get those guys, up and about. So it's something that we expect to do every time, we go in the field. So, it's all a part of being in the, in the team environment and kind of being a guy that can be relied on to kind of execute and bring the juice in some sense,
Cody, I want to ask this because you went to Arkansas State, right?
Mm.
What's it like going, from Western Australia to, no disrespect to Arkansas, but going to Arkansas? Like, that's got to be The only bigger culture shock I would imagine would be Perth to Edmonton, right? Like, what was that like for you?
It was crazy, man. First time I visited, I was doing a little personal trip. I spent 3 weeks in California, and then I was doing a visit to Arkansas State on the way up. I landed in Memphis. I was like, it's only 45 minutes from Memphis. I was like, oh, cool. It's, big city area, what I'm used to. And then we start driving, you just see rice paddy fields everywhere and just, all farmland and things like that. And I was like, oh, what have we gotten into? But then you get to the actual college town and you see, I don't know if you've been to a lot of college towns in America, but it's just, the culture's awesome, man. There's good people, good food, there's great environment. So kind of when I got over that shock of moving away from the beach and in the city and moving to a small town, it was just all about football. It was cool, man. There's good people. I met my best mates there, and you learn a lot about good food in the South, that's for sure. So it's something I embraced.
I was going to say, were the portion sizes something that
massive.
Really stuck out to you? Yeah, right?
Yeah, man.
Those southern portion sizes, man. It's huge, crazy how big.
And then the mixes that they do, like there's this local kind of college bar food spot that I would go to, and you go to get a burger and you think it's just 1 patty, 2 patties, but no, it's 3. It's got peanut butter, it's got bacon on it. It's crazy.
Got it all.
Yeah, that was my specialty after my first trial. I was like, yeah, it's called the Gooby Burger. It's got peanut butter, all the good stuff in it. It was crazy.
Was that like a post game thing for you? Like every post game, that's where
that or we'd indulge in like Chick-fil-A or some good stuff. Southern fried food. So I definitely gained a few kilos. Spending a few years there, that's for sure.
So, Cody, you guys are sitting at 1-6. The team is coming. You can tell the past 2 games, the Saskatchewan game and then against Hamilton. You guys are close, man, but close doesn't count. You're still 1-6. That's the reality. What's the messaging been like from Coach Killam on down, especially during these 2 past games where you could feel some good optimism?
I mean, that's a coach you want to play for when we're in this situation. He definitely knows how to kind of, his philosophies and things like we're close, but every day you've just got to keep working. There's no excuses, no other way around it. So that's a guy you want leading your team in this situation. And the locker room's great, man. Like I've been in locker rooms where we've been playing losing football and it's frustration, there's arguments and things like that, but this whole locker room's, we're motivated. We're a little bit pissed off, because we are close. But, we're very optimistic about how we can turn this around and get it going in the next, kind of 6-7 games that we've got in this before we hit the bye. So, Killam knows how to lead a team. And, we're behind him 100%. So we'll be rolling.
Yeah, great answer. Just a few more quick ones for you, Cody, and then we'll let you get going. But I do want to ask, like, the transition, obviously. You should probably touch on it a little bit earlier, but, you grow up, like, because your high school, it was an Aussie Rules Academy that they had? Yeah, so it's how football and high schools and things like that work in Australia. It's you have your high school, but all the sports played through club teams, so our school was just kind of I had an academy, but you could kind of, practice and train with a few other guys that had kind of elevated skills in the sport. And then we'd play, a few games during the week against other schools that had teams, but then we'd play a game, say a Wednesday, and then we'd go play for a club team or a semi-professional team on the weekend. So it's kind of just the extra, if you're a guy that can't sit down during classes and things like that, you had something to look forward to during school hours and things like that. So what was the transition process to go then to American football? Like, was it something you saw and you said, I'm going to go do this, I want to try this? Was Arkansas State, were they interested in your leg and they said, we want you to come punt for us? Like, how did that go? Yeah, so the idea, I'd seen a lot of college football kind of watching NFL, and then you kind of understand what college football is about. And me personally, I want to be a strength and conditioning coach. And then kind of watching, those hype videos and things like that, the front man was usually always the strength and conditioning coach. You spend, 95% of the college year with your strength coach. And that was something I wanted to do. I want to be a mentor for athletes and kind of develop young men. And I loved working out and training. So,
that kind of led me into how do I get involved in this, and going to school in the US, and punting was a way to do that. So kind of took 6 to 8 months to actually, I stopped playing football, and it took 6 to 8 months to kind of learn how to punt, kind of understand the rules and things like that. And then probably about, 8 to 10 months after I started that process, I was sending hundreds of emails, man, to colleges, just anyone that would reply. And eventually Arkansas State replied, and there was a few little things we had to go through with, because I was studying back home and try to transfer all the academics over. And then 10 months went by, and I got a call in the middle of the night to come play. Fall camp had started, or was just about to start, and I had 2 days to get there. So got a phone call in the middle of the night, got on a plane 6 to 8 hours later, and I was at my first practice, and then 3 weeks later I was playing my first game. So it was a pretty quick turnaround to understand what actually football is about. And I remember getting, cussed out from one of my coaches, not knowing what was going on during practice and not knowing when I was meant to be on the field. So, it was a crazy kind of 8 to 10 months, just, being a 20-year-old kid trying to chase something, and then didn't actually know what I was getting into, playing my first game in front of, 95,000 people. And it was, it was a cool experience.
I will say that is also a very American thing, to have no regard for your time zone, that it's the middle of the night.
Yeah.
You just ring you when they feel like it. Not even thinking
Man,
about
I didn't care, to be honest. I was just looking, I was hungry for an opportunity. And, if they called me at 1 o'clock, just asking about transcripts or something, or send film, it didn't matter. My phone was always next to me, man. So it was, I was grateful for it.
Cody, I have a question, because I could tell you like the gym. You're a punter that has a good body on it, man. You got the good physique. A lot of punters, a lot of specialists, they don't have that physique. I appreciate that. I respect that. I'm a man who likes to spend the hours in the gym myself. Now, and you don't need to name names, Cody, are there position groups that you are stronger than? For example, are there some defensive linemen that you can lift more than on the team?
These days, I've backed off in the weight room. These days, in college days, I was lifting with the O-line and the D-line guys, so I was giving them a little bit. That was moving a lot more weight on the bar and faster. But I'm not gonna point out. My heavy lifting days are kind of over. It's just more maintenance,
Staying
so
flexible.
It's. I used to just be a meathead, man, and just put as much, my first 2-3 years in the CFL, I was trying to, squat 4 plates after a game and things like that, the next day. And longevity kind of became the priority. So I had to, put the squat bar down and kind of switch up how I was recovering. So we got some big dudes on the D line and things like that, man. So I'm not going to go, rep for rep against those dudes, that's for sure.
Do you secretly hope that on any given punt, like the returner breaks through, gets to you, so you can just jack him up?
Nah, there's no secret hope, man.
The punter makes the tackle.
Nah, it's more satisfying seeing those dudes make plays upfield. Our gunners, that gets me juiced up. I would much rather see them go and eat. That's why we play. That's why they want to play on punt. They were going to make tackles. So it's more satisfying for me seeing them, make a big hit than, them slip through. I get pissed off if they slip through. So if they've got 10 yards, that's 5 yards too many. They already get a head start. So it's you want to shut the doors on them.
These coaches are going to love that answer.
Oh my God, that's a perfect answer. I'm trying to get him on the top 10. He's like, no, we don't get that. Cody, do you have any final ones for it? Yeah, no, Cody, this has been excellent, man. We really appreciate you stopping by, being with us here today. Had a lot of fun. Go Elks, and we look forward to watching the rest of the season, man.
I appreciate your work, fellas. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. All right, what a combo. What a guy.
Good.
So much
You
fun.
can tell he's motivated and hungry.
Oh, for sure.
Self-motivated.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. Even like, you can always tell, because even when, someone's like joking around, a little jovial, but they get back to what it's really about.
Yeah.
It's about the team. It's about those W's and L's. It's about putting it all together. And he was always around back to that. So you could tell really, really good one. Rick, Pat, were there any questions that you guys were screaming for us to ask that we didn't get around to?
Not at all. I think you guys nailed it. I just like sitting back and listening about that. Some guy comes all the way from Australia.
Mm-hmm.
that's a serious step. That's almost a different sport. It's almost tough how you even look at that from where you want to be, right? If you want to be a rugby player, you want to be an AFL player, that's kind of what you want to do. But at the same time, in the midst of wanting to do that, you're also looking at an opportunity to do something that's close to the same, but really, really different at the same time. And on the other side of the world.
Wow, it's impressive, actually.
I should have asked him because I have cousins who live in Australia. They live in Tassie in Hobart, which is like complete. It's like an eastern island. It's completely the opposite side of Perth. But I should have asked him, like, is there? Do you guys think of Tassie like the same way we think of as like Newfoundland or something? You know what I mean? Like it's that because for us, like as Canadians, we just all think like Australia is Australia. You know what I mean? But for them, it would have been interesting to hear.
The Aboriginals are different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's different.
This is something that Eddie could probably answer for us too. But I'm just curious how much you think the rain delay affected them on Saturday. Like, what's your progression when that happens? Like, how do you keep team morale up? Like, how much do you think that impacted? You know, kind of being maybe that's why they dropped the ball at the very end because you're a little bit off your game, or what do you think?
Yeah, it's a case by case study, honestly, Patty P. I hate those delays. I don't think anybody does like them. You get so cold, stiff. You just throw out of your rhythm, right? Pro athletes are such creatures of habit. From, you know, the timing of when you eat, what you eat, how you get dressed, how many minutes before a game you put on tape, this and that. So when everything is thrown out of whack, it's really all about who can kind of respond to that adversity. And everybody's going to be different. When it comes to the team, I don't think it affected them so much, the Double E, because they came out and they played some good ball. You see how Rankin was running that rock after?
Yeah, he had that one slip there, but I think that was more the turf than it was any time off.
Yeah, wet. And when we talk about the dropped catch, Keon's dropped catch, the touchdown, we could maybe attribute to some wet ball there for him dropping the ball, but that's just a focus thing.
That was quite a bit after the rain delay was over. Yeah, I think you got dry football by then.
It's a focus thing. It's a focus thing. And why we can really say it's a focus thing with him is he dropped the ball against Saskatchewan too. That was a big moment. Yes, he made up with the touchdown, but he had a big drop in that game too. So now there's 2 weeks in a row where you've had big drops. Got to start to look at that.
What kind of accountability do you think the coaches hold to him there? Do you guys just give him a talk on the side? Do you sit there and does he miss a play? What does he do?
Part of it is he knows. And at this stage in the game as a pro athlete, you have.
But it is 2 games in a row.
It is 2 in a row. And now are you going to start to sit him down? And like Ed Hervey, who is their GM, who I know no nonsense, and he was a great receiver.
I've been there, done that.
Exactly. He doesn't put up with that stuff. Especially now when your drops are affecting the team.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing to have a drop in the first quarter, hit you in the breadbasket. You still got a whole game to flush out. Now you've had 2 drops that have really affected you in back-to-back weeks. Got to consider something.
Do we talked about this. We don't have that clip, right?
Which one? The Cody Grace one?
Drop?
Oh, the chaos. No, I don't think.
Have that. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if his crew going on the internet and got I can't find that's not on Twitter. We can't find that anywhere.
Scrub that thing. The black SUV showed up at the CFL replay official's office and take that one down. We do have some clips here, though. We should probably break these down.
Yeah, let's get
we can just run through them one by one here. What do we have?
We got the first off, we have the Rankin, the little wheel route.
Oh, this was my favorite play of the game. They ran this to perfection. Talked to him about it after the game. We got it here. Yeah, look at this. There, the will there goes with him and just lost.
Yeah. Because he turned it up in number 0. He couldn't stick with him when Rankin put that foot in the ground and went up.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, it was brutal. It was because this one, I think this, I don't know if we get the rest of the route here. I think the slot just runs it in.
And if you see that, with that slot, if we can run that back here, fellas, the guy who's coming in and sits down, that's a really good play design because that doesn't allow for the person who's covering Rankin. They have to now run
it's
around.
Essentially like
it's a pick. Yes, exactly.
Like a sprint.
And so now you're having to run around. You lose track of Rankin because your attention is now focused on getting around the receiver and the guy covering that receiver. Mm-hmm. Then Rankin turns downfield.
Yeah, you saw it for a brief second there.
It happens fast. It doesn't need to be much. You just got to get in a guy's way. That's all you need. And that's exactly how they played. Great play call by Mexico.
Great
throw.
Recognizing the man-to-man defense, knowing that pick's going to be there, that Rank's going to be able to get out on movement.
And then, hey, protection. It happened quick, but Cody had good protection to get a good ball off.
Able to get that ball up. We said this about Rankin yesterday. Like I honestly think Justin Rankin is one of the best dual threat backs in the league. Like when he has the opportunities, this was another thing we didn't talk about. The commitment to the run game they had. The commitment to the run game was huge, and it was. I think we broke it down yesterday again. I think it was like 25 pass plays, 23 designed run plays, and a QB scramble. Like that is great balance, and you were sticking with Justin. You were letting him get in the flow. You were letting him get in the rhythm. You were letting your offensive line get in the flow and get in the rhythm. And it just opens up so much more for the pass game when your offensive line is going backwards all the time. When the defense is just going to sit there and know you're running pass plays. Like it's huge. It's huge for the offense. It's huge for the guys. It's huge for the confidence. And I thought it really came through with Justin's performance. Like every time he was able to run the ball, he was running heavy. He was running hard. He's speedy. When he was catching the ball, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I think it was like 64 yards, 46 yak. Like he making plays after he gets the ball in his hands. What he does. So Justin Rankin, man, like I said, one of the best, if not the best, dual backs in the league, dual threat backs in the league, and just a guy who loves it, and a guy who, when you put the ball in his hands, is going to make a play, and that's what you need from a player like that, from RB1.
If you like him so much, then like our next little highlight here is the. Maybe we should start off the negative, but this is I think this is the second try at 3rd and 1.
Pull this picture up.
So we have an issue with short yardage. Okay, we've seen it before. We've seen it this game again. Do you just go to the running back? Like, do we just accept the fact that maybe we don't have the right quarterback, the right guy in there? Like, how do we improve this? Because it is frustrating as hell.
Well, how you improve it is, first of all, and it sucks to see Mark Cordy get hurt, but run this back. Look at how number 91 displaces him. Watch Cordy get pushed back into the quarterback almost. Look at it. Number 91 is in the backfield.
Yeah.
You're going backwards on a QB sneak. You got to set that new line. You should be pushing him into the Telus padding there, right there, covering the goalpost. Like, no way should you be getting pushed back on a QB sneak. Let's start there.
They line up a yard away from you.
They line up a yard
You should
away.
be scoring at a 95% clip or converting at a 95%
So,
clip.
honestly, seeing it with this replay and how zoomed in it is, it really is telling. That is completely on the offensive line. The offensive line got their shit pushed in all across the board, and that's why you didn't convert.
Well, this isn't going to help any, but we're going to go to the other side of the ball now, because there were times when I thought the D could have got off the field. I think it was a bonus the fact they were out of their long snapper, and I think their regular snapper too. That's why they kept going for it on 3rd down, which when I was watching, I didn't really realize the centers were out. I was confused as all hell as to why we were doing that. But here, again, is an opportunity for the defense to get off the field. You just got to make a tackle. And, well, it just didn't happen that way yet again.
What are we at, 3rd and 8 here?
Yeah, this is your favorite play.
Gotta get him
He just
down.
always finds a way.
And you see how he climbs the pocket.
He just always finds a way.
You're getting pressure.
There were 4 plays like this last game when the Elks had a hand on his
Jake's got it. And he's on Bo's throwing arm too, but Bo just seems to shed him off. Look at this. He's on the throwing arm. You got to finish the play.
There were like 3 or 4 like that in the game. It's so frustrating.
And even if you don't get a sack, but just finish the play to try and tackle him, to make him throw it away, make him throw a bad ball. You can't just let him shake it. And look, I know I've missed tackles before too. It's hard to get these guys down. But you're a team that is desperate for plays to be made. You got to make a play on 3rd and 8.
You're up 7. It's 3rd and 8 from their own 50-yard line. Like, you have to be able to stop them in that situation.
You can't convert. So, again, that's on the players. And that's on a guy that they paid a lot of money to, and a guy that we've pointed the finger at earlier in the year. Not calling him out, but that's a play Jake Serezna has to make for this team to finally get in the win column. You're a leader on this team. You got to make a play.
And we highlighted that play, but there were, like, I know I can tell we don't have the clips, but there were, like, 5 different plays where someone had a hand on Bo and just couldn't bring him down.
And that's kind of the boat too.
That's what we couldn't even pull all of them. There were just too many.
And it's not just Bo. You're getting your hands on the wide receiver and he's getting through. You're getting your hands on the running back. You're getting him in the backfield and he's getting away. He's getting 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 yards.
And why it's demoralizing is we've seen this clip and we saw it with Bo. But we have seen it almost week in and week out. We've seen Nathan Rourke escape the pocket when he shouldn't have and convert crazy 2nd and long, 2nd and 15. You remember? Like there's been game after game, play after play where these guys just are making plays and the other team are converting plays realistically that they shouldn't be converting and having success.
And we're not able to do that. Fajardo has yet to have one of those plays. That's not on him at all.
No, I feel you.
But these quarterbacks are doing it. When's it our turn?
And we're getting it done to us week in and week out. It hurts, man. It's normal.
Everything's against us.
Yes.
Like, that's a great play by us. Cool. Bang. Three against us right away.
Yeah.
1 step forward, 2 back.
Yeah, that's what it is, man.
Speaking of when's it going to happen for us, let's take a little look ahead to this Montreal game. Heading into Montreal. Hostile environment, would you say?
It is. I like the team that Edmonton's rolling to Montreal with. I think they're going to be not favored in a lot of positions, but I think they are a better team than Montreal, except on defense. Montreal's defense is lights out.
Really good, yeah.
I really think that Edmonton can have success against MVT because their offense was quite flat against Saskatchewan. But that defense in Montreal, boy.
What worked for our offense last game? Because if I remember correctly, there were about 3 passes that our defense were right there. They were in the hip pocket, and yet somehow they just made the catch. And I don't remember if they were just long plays or touchdowns, but I remember being right there with it. So therefore, our offense did something against that defense. What exactly did they do, and how do they do it again?
I need you to take this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I zoned out the question. Because here's what I honestly thought. I thought you guys were like making eye contact. And I was like, oh, Eddie and Rick, they're talking. And I missed the second half.
Oh, man, everybody's trying to eat here.
Yeah.
Honestly, when it comes to the defense, at least for the double E going against this Montreal offense, get them in 2nd and long and make MBT beat you. I would be salivating getting the opportunity to go against MBT because he is a statue back there.
No disrespect to him.
Yeah, totally. He is a statue. And look, last year I was saying he was the best opportunity at quarterback for the double E, right? So that's the name of the game. That's the name of the game. But he's not out there at this point in his career. He's not a Bo Levi Mitchell type where he's going to throw the ball all over the yard. If you let him get some momentum, like any quarterback, they'll get comfortable and they'll get in a rhythm. You can't let him get into a rhythm. Stop the run early. Make him beat you on 2nd and long. Montreal's defense, the thing with them is they pressure you a lot. Yeah. They force you into mistakes. They'll go cover 0 where you're going to be mano against the receivers, and they're going to blitz you, and they're going to bring one more blitzer than you have blockers. So you got to get that ball out quick and on time to the right read.
So I have a lot more faith in Cody doing.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That sounds like something that Cody's going to have a better opportunity at taking advantage of than what we've seen on the Trey so far.
Totally. And one thing that bodes well is Cody's been in Montreal the past 3 years. Mm-hmm. He knows Noel Thorpe, the DC. He's practiced against him. He understands tendencies and when he likes to bring pressures. Mm-hmm. So hopefully Cody can take that and use that to his advantage.
Yeah, the Owls offense versus the Elks defense is kind of one of those like who's gonna flinch? Stoppable force meets movable object.
Yeah,
But I do like. And maybe people will think this one's crazy, especially based on how their first meeting went. But obviously, in Montreal's defense, the strength, I would say the best unit between the two teams on either side of the ball. But in that matchup, like I favor, from what I've seen lately, call me crazy, correct me if I'm wrong, all of you guys, but I favor Edmonton's defense versus Montreal's offense. Like I feel more confident in Edmonton's defense going into this one than I do Montreal's offense.
That's not outlandish.
Yeah, like I don't.
The defense that we've seen the past 2 weeks.
That's what I was going to say. You got to bring out the best of the best because we've seen the not best, and that's not going to win.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, it's fair. I don't know. Like Montreal, they were really scraping by, winning games by like 1, winning games by
3.
They're
2.
Like needed PJ Walker. Yeah, listen, and credit, like the wins are the wins, and the Elks don't have those, so credit to Montreal. But it's PJ Walker coming in and missing throws at the end of the game for Calgary, and you hitting 60-yard field goals. Like that's how you're going to win. And you play Saskatchewan at home, gets throttled 34-6, not a big deal out of it. And now, like I don't know, like I feel I'll go ahead and say it now. I'll be the first one to say it. I will predict another Elks victory for this one. I think the Elks are going to win this one somewhere in the range of 34-26.
All right, clip it, boys.
34-26.
What are you guys thinking?
26.
What are you guys thinking on this one?
You know what? Honestly, I do have a positive feeling with Double E. I do. I think they'll go out to Montreal. I think it'll be a competitive game. They'll be hungry. I think they will come out with a dub. I think they will, Dick. That's kind of where my heart lies as well, man. To be honest.
I just think they you want the dub every week, obviously, but when you're 1-6 and you play the two best teams in the league that close, and you feel and you're thinking we could be 3-4 right now. Now, maybe that's not fair, especially considering the Saskatchewan game, but the Hamilton game certainly. But when you have that mindset, and then you go play a team that appears to be subpar compared to the two teams you just played, it feels like it's there for the taking. Like this dub is there for the taking. I think they go out and do it.
Okay, but we're gonna need a score, Eddie.
Okay, let's rock with 25-19. Double E.
What do you guys think?
I like that. I'm going with the Eskimo win too, and I'm going 31-21.
Ooh, he dropped that Eskimo win.
Yeah.
The Eskimo win, baby. Woo!
I'll just ride with Rick. I think 31-21. It's nice.
I'll just ride with Rick. It's the Eskimos.
I like it. I could not. But yeah, no, it's just nice seeing the positivity out of them as well, right? And like you guys said, they're just so close. Watching the game against Hamilton, you felt like, okay, the win, it's coming, and just to hear that the locker room is still very positive, it bodes well going into the next game, I think.
Maybe we're too positive for a 1-6 team, but I feel a heck of a lot better following that Hamilton loss than I do some of the losses they had earlier this season.
Yeah, it's not as doom and gloom, man.
No, it's
just because of the way they're playing.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I'm saying. If you get your shit rocked every game was by fucking 40, that's you're deader than dead. If you're competitive and you're in the games, there's something to take. There's something to take away from that. Which is me completely walking back my take from last week when I said, "Fuck it, they're 1-5. Who cares?" I disavow. I've walked it back. There are positives to take from these losses.
1-6 is the record, but they're only 2 wins out of possible playoff contention, right?
It all depends how you look at it, right?
Yeah, and that's what Cody was saying earlier. That he said they're still positive and they're pissed off about the last couple of games, which really made me feel good because I really was wondering where do they start getting down and go, you know what, I don't know what the hell we can do is we just can't win. Knowing full well that these guys are pissed and these guys are still positive, man. 2 games with what do we have left? 10?
Yeah,
right.
18. They played
11 then.
So 11 left.
We have 11 more games to go, and then you got to catch up at least 2. That is not that big of a mountain to climb.
With the huge, as we all know, Labor Day and the rematch.
Yeah.
That is everything, those 2 games.
I'm really excited to see what the crowd looks like.
And BC starts off this week against Hamilton. So if Hamilton can go down there and get their win, and I believe that's actually Hamilton at home.
Yeah,
so if Hamilton can get their win at home, now all of a sudden we get our 1 win, bam, 1 game back.
You're in the mix.
1 game back, 10 games to go. Let's go.
Also, it is that thing, if Hamilton keeps winning, it ends up ripping off 12 in a row, or 12-2. If you're Edmonton, you're sitting there hey,
lost the best.
Lost to them by 4. Should have won the game.
Yeah.
Right. Do you guys all have a hot seat for this week? Who's on the hot seat?
I'm going to take the easy one here and just go with the receiver, Julian Grant. You've had 2 drops in 2 games. 1 kind of cost the game. You're not. Yeah, there are other plays out there, but at the end of the day, that play was going to win you the game essentially.
Yeah.
2 drops in 2 games. It's time to go out there and show that you can be trusted. Your quarterback has to have the confidence to go back to you. So this is an opportunity to go out there and grab a couple balls, grab some of that yak, and get in the end zone.
Rick is spicy today. I like it.
No, every time I look over, I'm like, why is he yelling?
I like this. This is a Rick that I
energy
like.
there first thing in the morning here.
Yeah, baby. My hot seat's gonna be the defensive line. Still, I need more out of them. We saw that clip, Jake Serezna slipping off Bo Levi. Yeah, playmakers got to make plays, and you got to not just go out there hoping to make plays. A great defensive line should go and say, "No, we're going to establish ourselves. We're going to set the tone, and the game's going to go through us." And the defensive line hasn't done that yet. And the best teams I've been on are led by the trenches, led by the O-line, led by the D-line. And we're not seeing it yet. So I'm going to be calling out the D-line, challenging them. They need to be better. And they have a chance to get after MBT. This would be a chance where, you don't got to be chasing him all over sideline to sideline. Collapse that pocket, make him uncomfortable, and finish the damn play.
Mm-hmm. Pat, you have a hot seat of the week?
Yeah, I guess I'll just kind of
weddings and
fireballs is on the hot seat. But no, I do think everyone on the field for those goal line stands are getting a little frustrating. I think you got your special teams coming out making big plays, and even Cody coming in somewhat cold, if you will, and he stepped up for the team, and they get you to the goal line, and you just got to punch that, and you got to finish it. You got to be so hungry, everything you have on that line, and punch that in for your team, because it's frustrating to watch them constantly get turned down on the goal line.
Yeah, that's a great answer. My hot seat of the week, I probably should start going first. You guys all who are you copying? I was going to say Kaon, only because Kaon, I was looking at his numbers. I think he's been targeted, and this could be wrong, I don't have it in front of me. I think he's been targeted 35 times this year, 16 receptions. That drop, obviously, in the end zone. Big number. No, second in the team in receiving yards, which is cool. He's kind of emerged as that guy. He has 3 touchdowns on the year. He does play well, but there are some mistakes that are a touch too frequent for the guy who is kind of emerged as the number 2 receiver in that offense. So just in terms of looks and touches, or looks especially, I guess I should say. So Cam would be on mine, but honestly, it's not that hot of a seat this week. It's a lukewarm seat this week. Like I think there are a lot of guys who are doing a lot of good things. Like every single week, I think it was so noticeable and it was so evident. You could have had 5 or 6 or 7 guys, position groups, coaches, whatever, on the hot seat. This, I feel like it's a little bit thinner, and I think you guys all made great valid points. But I feel like things are trending in a better direction to the point where I'm not throwing these guys on the hot seat where I would have been.
As you said, how Kaon has emerged into the number 2 wide receiver, it just kind of dawned on me, fellas. Where's Curly?
Yeah,
where's Curly been?
I was looking at his numbers. I think he's got like 280 yards, maybe. I could be wrong on this. I should probably pull it up, but I think he's his targets are.
Big money, too. Get paid big money.
Yeah, I believe he has less targets than Dunbar, Kaon, maybe even Arkell Smith.
That might be something we need to watch going forward here. Is he covered? Are they doubling him? Are they just leaving somebody else open? Are they choosing not to go to him? Is he not getting open?
Is he not running hard enough?
Because wasn't he the one with that bad route in Montreal, I believe, before, where he didn't really know the ball was coming to him and it came out his back? And
that was him. For me, it's like, I haven't been like, oh, we lost this game because Curly hasn't shown.
Oh, no, not at all. But you got a receiver who's making a couple $100K.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a chunk of change, man. Yeah. That's the highest paid receiver on the team.
Yeah. He was supposed to be the number 1 guy. It's a valid point, obviously. But it's just
not calling him out. I'm just wondering, where's your highest paid receiver?
Exactly. That's not a question you should be shying away from. I think at that point, if you're making that money, man, you got to go out there and do something. You haven't lost the game, but you can go out there and win one for us.
Especially when they're not winning games.
Yeah, go win one for us. Make a catch when you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Do you guys, are we missing anything? Is there anything else you guys want to add? Anything we didn't go over? It's tough. It might have been blended a little bit. I feel like we did a good job.
I think it's pretty good.
I think we nailed about everything here. I know if there is anything, we'll probably bring it up after the Friday game there. But I think going in, we've pretty much covered everything from last game and a decent preview on what's going on. It's up to the team now to win.
Elks 101 staple segment we on the show with every time. You guys have a blind ranking per chance?
I don't have one off the top of my head here. I was scrambling to figure out the rest of it today.
Media members at Sports 1440. Top 5. I'm just playing.
Obviously, Jason number one.
Jason and Low Tide.
No, Low Tide's he's like sixth. Ooh. On the top 500. Just kidding, Low Tide.
Clip it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess if so, no blind ranking. We say fuck that.
Yeah, we'll have one for next Monday though.
All right, dope. Okay, I guess in that case we can sign off. Got anything you want to add? Any final thoughts?
Oh man, it's Montreal. It's always a fun trip. I'll say that. Hopefully, it's all business for the boys.
I think that's a little behind the scenes deal right
Hey
there.
man, they haven't done enough winning to earn the fun. It's all business for these boys.
Perfect, man. This was really tired. This was still a lot of fun. Shout out Cody Grace, man. I love talking to him. He was awesome.
That's good.
Rick, Pat, nothing from you guys to close this.
No, man, we're just waiting for that second W come on Friday.
Facts. Okay. All right. Well, I guess in that case, thank you all for listening. We really appreciate you. Tune in next week. Elks 101 ElksCentral. Go Elks.